Happy New Year, Kwak Brothers Nation.
What's
Welcome
going on,
back, guys. It is 2024, the year where I believe, I truly believe and pray and wish that you will be prosperous, you'll be blessed. Everything that you do will be a straight path to success, and whatever that definition is for success for you. With that being said, welcome back, everybody, from the holidays, Christmas.
Hope everybody had a restful time.
Yeah,
you know,
got
great
some good
Christmas
gifts,
time, New Year's
good
time with
dinner,
family. It's a great time to slow down and just reflect.
Absolutely.
Now, obviously, speaking of reflecting, right? There's a lot of things that Sam and I and Nick have been talking about over the last 2-3 months, and obviously, and we'll make it short. We don't want to waste your guys' time or anything like that, or spend more time needing to talk about what we need to talk about. But as you guys see from the title, and you guys could probably gauge by the tone of today's show. I see a lot of you guys that have been kind of commenting.
Why are you making it sound like our dog died or something? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, no, or we don't. Well, if our dog did die, you guys would know.
You guys will know where it's going. It's going
guys...
right next door to Fu Chow's restaurant. I was kidding. We're gonna get so canceled by the PETA people. Anyhow, finish your thought.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so again, just with the reflection time, and this is something that Sam, myself, and Nick have been talking about for the last 3 or 4 months. But we've been talking about, long story short, the direction of where we want to take this YouTube channel. And at the end of the day, what do we really want to talk about? What really inspires us, and ultimately our end goal, which we've been saying it every single show that we've done. At the end of the day, our objective is to spread truth, right, and inspire unity. And for a lot of you guys that know, myself, Sam, and Nick, we're all Christ followers. We're all very strong Christ followers.
Yeah.
And obviously, if there's one message that Jesus preaches over and over again, it's unity. And one of the things that we've realized, as we've been talking about the topics that we've been talking about with the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset, and the political topics that we kind of discuss here on our YouTube channel, we've actually realized at this point that after having done this for 2 years, right, that it's actually counterproductive for the goal of what we want to do, which is to create unity. And obviously, the best way to create transformation, to create unity, to fight evil in this world, and the forces of Satan and the enemy and what he's trying to do with the woke agenda and all these different things, it's very counterintuitive for us, right, to be able to continue to talk about these things.
I wouldn't say
and build relationships with those people.
Well, I wouldn't say it's counterintuitive per se. I think at the end of the day, what we're battling against, and it's not just us right in our channel. We have other channels that are doing a phenomenal job, whether it's Redacted, you have JP Sears, putting comedy together, Babylon B. I mean, there's a lot of voices that do an absolute phenomenal job, and I know many of you are subscribed and you tune into those types of channels that call out, a lot of the hypocrisy, the absurdity. The things that are counter to our own well-being, whether that's looking at it from a psychological perspective or a spiritual perspective, and there's a lot of wrong in the world, and there's a lot of narratives, especially Marxist-inspired narratives and messages that suggest that there is no absolute truth. And we've been doing quite a good job of fighting back and speaking out and exposing and revealing a lot of these types of things that we believe to be is not true, or at least counter to what we believe in. Having said that, to get to where we want to go in this conversation, the major update that we're doing this to our YouTube channel, and I know many of you will, after this decision and after presenting what we have to share, will probably never come back to us again. You just won't. I mean, many of you will go, all right, these guys, they're not talking about what I want to hear. That's fine. That's okay. So here's what we ultimately are doing.
Well, not only that, and I'll kind of get to what we're announcing here in a second. But one of the things I also want to add too is that a lot of you guys, especially for a lot of you that join us every single Monday for the show, not only will you not may or may not come back, but you will most likely not like the decision that we're making, right? But that being said, for a lot of you guys, that have watched us for years and years, you guys obviously know what we used to talk about initially, and what this channel was, by the way, for 5-7 years before the last 2 years of talking what we talked about. is we initially talked about finance, and we actually talked about real estate investing and how to pay off your mortgage, right? I mean, if you guys take a look at our channel, some of our most popular videos have been about finance and investing. And quite frankly, as a lot of you guys know as well, you know, Sam and I have other businesses that we run outside of YouTube, because obviously YouTube just doesn't pay us enough to be able to,
believe me, YouTube pays us, I'll tell you the number, YouTube pays us $2,000 a month.
Yeah, exactly, per month.
Just being transparent, right? And it's enough to keep half of this building open every month.
Yeah, well, not even half, right?
Like, right, less than half of this building.
Way less than half. But, you know, we have employees, and obviously we have the vision and the mission that we feel like God has given us with our businesses that, you know, I'll just be very honest, are more important, you know, because they do create a much bigger impact. It does help people. So that being said, as I'm sure if some of you guys may already guess, we actually made the decision in 2024 moving forward to actually go back to posting about finance and investing. Now, that being said, and I'm sure you got a lot of thoughts here, but that being said, we will still talk about biblical principles, but more so from the perspective of finance. What does the Bible say about, you know, investing and wealth and, you know, money and stuff like that? Because I do believe there is a lot of ignorance, right, around that topic. But, you know, as said before, long story short, moving forward in 2024, this is what the three of us have ultimately decided to do.
Well, I think it's also, we're going to be talking about finance. We're going to go into that with the backdrop of what we have been talking about, what we recognize to be is true. You know, we recognize that there is an agenda and a push, and it is a spiritual warfare. I know some of you guys have mentioned that in the comments. A push for socialism for this country. And that will never, as long as we're alive and all of us are alive, that will never happen to the United States of America. That the U.S. will never be a socialist, never be a communist country. We will fight for this country to remain as a true free market capitalism country where everyone has an opportunity. Opportunity doesn't mean outcome. Everyone has equal opportunity to succeed financially, and we want to help and aid in that by sharing what we know is to be true and best when it comes to the financial strategies, tactics, decisions that we make every day with our money, with the backdrop of knowing that we have the forces like the World Economic Forum, United Nations, Bill Gates, right? Some of these individuals we talked about. How do we make financial decisions so that we could be self-sufficient? We have financial empowerment to be able to move forward and come out unscathed with some of these crises that are brewing.
Yeah, and like Sam said, we're not completely moving away from the topics of what we talked about the last 2 years, right? But it's just more so we're going to talk about things that we believe that we're more of an expert on. And to Sam's point, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I think a lot of you guys kind of already know what's happening based on the topics that we talk about. And you know, we obviously want to give and have this be a platform where we actually share real strategies, real techniques that you guys can go out and apply to enforce ideas like capitalism, to go against ideas such as socialism and communism, the things that, you know, Sam and I are really, really passionate against.
Right. Because it's really easy to choose or to fall into the allure of socialism when you're dirt poor.
Correct.
When you're in debt, when you don't have your finances in order, when your 401k looks like a 201k, when your bank account's dropping to zero, when you're financially disempowered, socialism knocks at your door and it looks, man, it's gonna start looking pretty. I mean, on paper, it's gonna be like, you know, hell no, we're not gonna go with socialism. But if you're at a point, everyone, at least in this table, has been at a point where we've been dirt poor, and man, when government promises something like, hey, we're gonna give you free money, it's gonna start to sound good. So again, what we're saying is we want to combat Marxism, socialism, government intervention, authority by us equipping you and giving you empowerment. And I know some of you guys are saying, and to respond to comment, I'll go to you, Daniel. But some of you guys are saying, oh, these guys are being attacked by YouTube. They must have been approached by YouTube.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing can be further from the truth.
Let's address that, you know, because I mean, guys, the last 2 years have been us being attacked by YouTube, right? And we've made changes such as going on Rumble, right? I mean, so that's not necessarily why we're doing it. And you know, I also saw a couple comments on, hey, they're doing this because of money, right? That's also not the case, right? I mean, our businesses outside of YouTube do thankfully well enough
Yeah.
to where we don't need the YouTube income.
We don't need $2,000.
We don't need
No.
$2,000.
We don't need $2,000 from
But,
Google.
But that being
Thank you.
said, you know,
Yeah.
the reason why we're ultimately doing this, because number one, we do believe this is what creates more change, real transformation. And, you know, this is also along the lines of what Sam and I really enjoy and are passionate about and what we believe in.
Right.
You know, so again, we're not completely moving away from talking about World Economic Forum and those aspects, but we're doing it from a standpoint where we believe is more practical.
Right. Well, and by doing this, we're actually gonna, again, I mentioned this earlier, we're gonna lose subscribers because I know I already see in the comments some of you guys aren't gonna come back. That's fine. I love this because this is gonna split the chaff from the grain. It's gonna tell who's really in it to affect change in their lives, financially speaking, or you're just sitting around and listening to what you want to hear and all the doom and gloom, which is fine. Believe me, we will lose subscribers. I know some of you guys are unsubscribing right now. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Let's split.
Yeah.
Let's split the chat from the grain. We're gonna get less views moving forward, right? We're gonna be dropped, you know, into fraction of what we're used to getting, and that's okay. And again, this is all a strategic decision. Like I mentioned, we don't make as much money as on YouTube. Again, $2,000 a month ain't much.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean, with that being said, I mean, Nick, I want to give you an opportunity to speak because obviously you've been a big part of you know our channel. I mean, anything that you'd like to say to these guys?
Yeah. Well, what I can say is that based on this decision, so what you all need to understand about the financial world is that there is a war going on, right? The people at the top have all the money. I've known these gentlemen since 2017. That's a long time. It doesn't seem like it, but it's a long time. And the first interaction I had with them was about money and how to make more and how to break free and achieve financial freedom, right? There's a lot of merit in that because that's what binds us to the system, right? That system is that we're forever in debt because we have student loans, you know, mortgages, everything, right? Auto loan, cards, everything, debt-based society. What we're going to be doing here is teaching and helping people how to get out of that. So if anything, we are doing more of a service with the skills that these two gentlemen have in order for us to really make a huge impact.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed this journey. I'm very passionate about everything we talk about here. This is probably the last time you guys see me. So
I think I'm not sure about that.
I'm not too good on finance stuff, guys. Come on now.
We can be our guinea pig.
We can test it out. But like I said, guys, I really appreciate everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for being a part of this journey with us. We have all the best intentions here, and we really care about everyone who's watching us. So Godspeed, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Nick, by the way, for those words. Sam, I mean, I got some final thoughts, but Sam, anything you want to add? Closing thoughts for you?
No, I mean, it's again. This may sound like we're saying, hey, you know, we're not going to be talking about some of the favorite topics that you've been hearing from us. What we're doing is, yes, we're going to talk about it, but wrapped in the conversation of finance. I think most of you guys at this point will like to hear financial tips, strategies, and perspective from people who get what's going on. Right? I mean, do you want to get financial insights from MSNBC, CNN? I don't think so. I mean, at least most of you guys. So we want to help filter out what you will want to hear, and the suggestions that we'll give you with your everyday finances, whether it's investments, finances, through the lens that we see of the evil that we've been talking about, you know, World Economic Forum, UN, right, the wokeism, extreme, you know, left ideology that's destroying our families and destroying our finances, destroying the next generation. We're going to be talking about finance with that backdrop. Okay. Yes, we will still be biased in that fashion where we're not going to teach finance using Marxist left agenda. We're going to teach you from the perspective of how do we help you guys get free and independent of what the government does and how they want to come after your money. So again, that's just my thought. It's going to be a very interesting for our channel for the next couple months. If you guys are sticking around, awesome. We appreciate you, love you. We want to help you, and tell us how we should help you. Tell us of your concerns. Tell us share your thoughts with us, because we can only see what when you tell us what some of the things that you have in mind. If you have any content suggestions, any investment strategies that you want us to talk about, we'll get into it.
Yeah,
we will love to get into it. We want to serve you and over deliver as much as possible. So that's my little last bit on that. Yeah.
So again, guys, final thoughts for me as we kind of wrap up this live. First and foremost, again, I want to reiterate, the reason why we're moving away from what we talked about for the last 2 years. I mean, it's not for any money. It's not for, selling out or anything of that. I mean, it's really not. If anything, it's to support that cause even more. Because at the end of the day, the only way the World Economic Forum, the globalists, the way that they push their agenda is that if we, as hardworking, freedom-loving Americans, are poor.
Right.
Like, that is literally the only way that they're able to implement stuff like, universal basic income, socialism, communism, right? Like, that's their way to be able to implement all those things, and even CBDCs. And that's how they push a lot of the things that they want to push to get the control of what they want to. And at the end of the day, Sam and I want to see people be financially free. That's ultimately why we're moving towards the finance content. Now, I hope as much as you guys don't unsubscribe, because we do believe that the information that we will presenting does belong to everyone, is going to benefit every single person. And we want to start that movement, right? Now, for a lot of you guys that are kind of saying, hey, it's been a fun ride, loved your guys' work, but will not be watching. Hey, I just want to say, above anything else, thank you, right? Because during those times, during those 2 years, you guys gave us your attention. You rode on this journey with us. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, I speak for myself, Nick, and Sam, it's been an absolute privilege and an honor for us to be able to do that. We just want to do it at a higher level, at a level that's more pragmatic, at a level that's more beneficial, at a level that's more practical. And we believe that us being able to help you guys from the finance side will absolutely do that.
Right.
So if there's topics that you guys want us to cover, things that you want us to go over financially, please, from a finance standpoint, please let us know. I mean, at the end of the day, we welcome all feedback. But that being said, we thank you guys incredibly. This is not goodbye. It's just more so opening up another layer of our relationship with you guys. And we hope as much of you guys continue to be part of this journey with us. So Happy New Year, right? Welcome also to this next chapter for us.
Yeah. Well, and this isn't again the last. I know some of you guys are saying, "Oh, you guys are quitting." Okay, all right, you can see it. You can say it. You can see it that way if you want. We're not. I mean, we're not quitting. We're not going anywhere. We're still here on YouTube. We're gonna continue. Actually, you guys are gonna actually see more videos from us than ever before, because we're gonna be doing more shorts, more short content, longer content. We'll have guests. We'll have a lot of cool people that we're gonna interview with. If that's not your cup of tea, cool, that's fine. Ultimately, there's a saying in the Bible, right? And I'm not trying to equate myself to Jesus, but Jesus said, right, my sheep will hear me, right, and follow, and they'll know my voice. And I recognize that not every one of you will appreciate or support what we do moving forward, and that's fine. That's okay. I hope that you find someone else that you would deem as an expert in finance to follow. And so anyway, that's
So guys, thank you on behalf of myself, Nick, and Sam. We appreciate.
Oh, we're gonna wrap. I thought we were gonna answer some questions.
I
guess not.
Yeah, no. I mean, so let's thank you again for up until this journey. We look to continue to serve you guys at a higher capacity now with the content that we put out. So thank you guys. We love you all, and we appreciate you. Thank you, everyone.